Thor Ragnarok. I am reviewing this a day early because I'm going to be busy on Monday, so you probably won't see any uploads on Monday, and so for that reason I need to upload this video today, Black Panther tomorrow, and then no videos Monday, except for maybe a couple on my second channel, Collecting Ink. I'm going out of town to do some thrifting, going to some thrift shops, so pretty cool. Pretty excited about that. But you don't need to worry about that. We need to worry about Thor and him saving Asgard. Now, this movie, I think this movie showcases the worst of the Marvel movies, the worst qualities, and also the best qualities. But what I mean by that is half of this movie is super fun and super engaging, and the other half is really boring, bad exposition with a bad bland villain, and then also it has no consequences. This whole movie has no consequences. It is really, really irritating how little consequences are involved in this movie. I mean, just wow. So this movie is directed by Taika Waititi. I always feel weird about saying his name because I always feel like I'm just waiting for someone to go after I say his name, go bless you, and then it's like, oh. And so, but he's a great director. He's like James Gunn. He has a lot of his own style and flair and great humor. I love a lot of his films. Boy, that's a really great movie. Hunt for the Wilder People, Jojo Rabbit, all great movies. Jojo Rabbit was one of my favorite films of 2019, of the decade. Well, I don't know if of the decade, but definitely one of my favorite films of the decade for sure. I've watched that film numerous times since it come out. It is hilarious. It is heartwarming. It is just so engaging, and I just love that film. But it's just he can't save this movie because it still has to deal with the Thor world and crap they set up in the other movies. So this movie tries to get Thor away from Asgard, but there's no consequences. They just destroy Asgard, nobody feels bad. And the humor in this movie really works, and a lot, but it's not normal Taika Waititi humor where the dialogue and script is really good, and they're really well directed, and a lot of it, the good humor comes down to the performances. Like the dialogue is just normal Marvel movie dialogue, except it's a little bit more humorous, and the dialogue just doesn't help it, but the performances do. Chris Hemsworth is great, and it's just a really great. It's a really great performance for a comedic talent, and I think people underestimate how much Chris Hemsworth is a comedic talent. He should probably actually be in more comedy movies, if you ask me. But he's a funny guy, and but there's just no consequences with the Hulk. He keeps saying, if I become the Hulk, I'm not going to be Bruce Banner again. Guess what? Next movie he's in, he's Bruce Banner. Like, it's no consequences. It's really flippin' irritating. It's annoying. Hela's a terrible character because she has a point, and that's better than most Marvel villains. She actually has a good motivation, but the way she talks, she isn't fun to watch. She's not engaging. She has a cool design, and Kate Blanchett does a decent performance as the character, but it's just annoying. And I think this movie just wants to kill all of Thor's friends, and it just wants to do all that and get rid of them. But yeah, I think that's awesome if you're not a fan of the other Thor movies. But I think if you are a fan, it's pretty irritating. I think it's just annoying as just like we set up this, now we're showing disrespect. But then now with some of the other Marvel movie announcements, it seems like they're trying to go back to the Thor stuff. They're trying to bring Natalie Portman's character back from and stuff, And I'm okay with that. I just think this movie is just kind of it wants to be a Thor movie and then it doesn't, and it's really fun, and I like watching it, but it's not one of Taika Waititi's great movies because it's not allowed to be. It's supposed to be a Marvel movie, and it's not even as funny as some people make it out to be. I think there are sequences of this movie that are definitely really funny, but other parts that are not so funny. I'm just usually like half of the movie I'm bored by, and the other half I'm entertained by. But overall, it's still like a bland Marvel movie that's not that engaging.